Okay, welcome back to Score on Business, and we're here with Dale. Now, Dale, right before the break, you were telling us about how much thought went into making these so that they would last a long time.
And to back it up, I put a lifetime warranty on them too.
There you go. Yeah. So now the Gallagher test. I was looking at your website and I saw the Gallagher test. And for those who don't know, Gallagher is a very famous comedian who has done a lot of really funny things, and he smashes things. So tell us about the Gallagher test.
Okay, so people kept asking, well, you say they're strong, but how strong are they, right? So I went, let's find out.
Yeah.
So thinking back to the 80s when I was growing up, there was this guy called Gallagher. He used to smash fruit. He took this big old hammer called the Sledge-O-Matic, and he just smashed the crud out of all kind of fruits and vegetables and hamburgers and whatever on this table. So I went, what better way to show how strong they are? We'll get the competition. We'll put them on the table along with rockets. And we put them together and we smashed them at the same time so no one could say, well, you cheated or whatever. Yeah. And the thing is, one hit with the Sledge-O-Matic, which was a 30-pound hammer that we made to smash them, the competition was just annihilated. Yeah. But the same set of rockets we used for over 100 hits with that hammer, the same set. It still worked at the end, and there was no competitors that survived.
Yeah.
Zero.
And on your website, you show the film of that.
We decided to use slow motion. I rented this crazy slow motion camera, and it slows it down. It's just so cool.
That was perfect. It was.
Fun.
I could tell you all.
It was so fun.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's get to something that I know that the folks in the audience are going to want to hear about: how to succeed on Kickstarter.
Wow. That's a good question. How do you succeed on Kickstarter? Well, as you know, if people even know what Kickstarter is, there's a lot of different products and a lot of different ways to go about it. But I sort of came up with a recipe based on the Rockets product that we put out. And like I said earlier, it is story, story, story. You got to tell a compelling story. Why do you need the money? Who are you? Give yourself, you have to gain credibility by showing who you are.
Right.
And why you need this money. And the second thing is a little bit more sticky. A good product. You can't just put anything on there like, hey, I came up with this new whatever.
Mousetrap.
Some kind of widget, that nobody's going to want. You might think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But what Kickstarter will do is it will tell you if you got a good product or not.
Right.
Your mom and dad might say, son, you're so good and you got such a great product. Well, Kickstarter is not your mom and dad. They're going to tear you apart. It's like Shark Tank almost. They will, if it's not a good product, it's not going to sell.
Right.
Real simple.
One thing, in reviewing your Kickstarter campaign, I thought you all did a really solid job on establishing credibility. And with the inner ear monitors that you've been doing for a couple of years, a lot of big names are using those. So I really thought the credibility was established well there.
That's helpful.
With the story, what are you've kind of mentioned it, but it's so important. Let me ask again, the components of the story needed to succeed.
Established credibility.
Yeah.
Establish why this device is needed, or this album is needed, or this movie is needed, or whatever it is. And then have a logical amount of money that you're going after. Don't undershoot it, don't overshoot it. Make sure you got enough, right? And explain what you're going to do with the money. Like in our case, we were just going to pay for tooling, which is really expensive, and we just needed 20 grand to get it started. And lo and behold, we made 210, which was kind of cool.
And the not asking for the right amount if I gather correctly, is important, because if you want to raise $20,000 and you don't raise that amount,
you don't get anything.
You don't get anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And in our case specifically, we're actually going to launch this new headphone, the Live headphone, tomorrow on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
This is a new over-the-ear headphone. It's amazing. LIVV headphones is liveheadphones.com, and then the Kickstarter launches tomorrow. We're looking for $200,000 to finish the tooling on that.
Yes.
And production. I'm hoping it'll do $1 million. We'll see.
It certainly wouldn't surprise me.
One of the real critical elements of a Kickstarter campaign, not only is the story important, but how people are visual oriented. You can't just write a bunch of stuff on a page, and people just don't buy into that. They're not going to take the time to read it. They want to see a video. So we made a really good video. Rockets was a good example of a well-produced video. But the Live headphones video is incredible. A company called Lot 35 here in Nashville actually did that for us. And they do a lot of music videos and stuff for a lot of top artists. But they did an incredible job, and if you check that out, you'll see what I'm talking about. Right. Now, people might say, well, I don't have the money to buy a video, right? So, or I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and I don't know anybody that does video.
Dale, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about video, because
that's important.
Okay. Hey, guys, we will be right back. Stick with us.